Welcome, 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 family, to another spiritual awakening with yours truly, Dr. A.G. Green Sr. You know what to do. Tag and share and tag. Tag, share, and text. Let folks know that we are on the air. Tag and share and tag. Tag and share and tag. Let folks know that we are streaming right now. Make sure you speak as you come into this assembly. Whatever time of day it is, we greet and salute you, whether you're watching live or in replay. Welcome, 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 welcome. You know what time it is. Good evening to you as well, our resident therapist, Pastor Jerry Cotton. So glad to see people coming into the stream on tonight. That's it. It's time to vibe with our tribe. It's time to vibe with our tribe. Tag, share, and text. Text, share, and tag. Let's do it. Let's vibe with our tribe. Let's pray. Almighty Creator, Source of all, we thank you for this moment, these fleeting moments, yet we hold together, yet the cohesion of love, heart desire, the cohesion of a strong urge to evolve, to transform, and to sin has brought us together. Lead us, guide us. We thank you for all, and all is in awe and thanksgiving of you. We bless you for healing. We bless you for miracles. We bless you for transformation. We thank you right now for what's already happened and what's happening now in this moment. And we bless you in the name, the nurture, the example, the way, the consciousness of Yeshua. It is so, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, we are vibing with our tribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good to see you, and you coming on. Let's see if there's anybody watching us tonight within our Patreon community. Again, I am so thankful and grateful for you being here with me now. Let's see. Hillary has shared. Thank you so much. Our resident therapist has tagged and shared as well. What a wonderful, 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 wonderful day it is to be alive and to be well and to have our health and strength. Now unto him, the text says, that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think. It is according to the power that worketh in us. I have a partnership with the Christ mind. I have a partnership with the eternal source. I'm not powerless. I am powerful, but guess what? I am powerful. Come on, type it in the comment section. I am powerful. Come on, type it in the comment section. I am powerful. Let your fingers do the walking. Type it in the comment section. I am powerful, and speak out loud, vocalize, utter, and say, I am powerful. Own the power. Recognize the power. Know the power. I am powerful. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing it is to know that you know that you know that you know that I am powerful. Come on, type it in the comment section. I am powerful by inherent birthright, installed within you as a spiritual being who's projecting into a physical body. Before there was a who, when, or where, you who were who and what you were and what you are in the presence of the source. We are so thankful that we are willing to own the power that we are and the power that we possess. And yes, we wear and carry this power well. We are so thankful and grateful to know and begin to know who and what we are. I'm so thankful for you taking our time to share with me. We're going to do something special right here, right now. I want you to type it in the comment section. Isn't it wonderful? And then I want you to speak it out loud. Isn't it wonderful? Come on, type it in the comment section and speak it to yourself multiple times. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? That's right. Establish your state of consciousness. Establish your state of being. Establish the power of the presence and the energy that you are transmitting and emitting right now by developing a consciousness, thanksgiving and praise, awe and wonder. Isn't it wonderful? Oh, thank you for the late, great, powerful spirit known as Neville Goddard, who shared this phrase with us. Isn't it wonderful? So many miracles in the last couple of weeks from folks who are watching me now, who just said it before they went to bed and said it when they awakened in the morning and said it throughout the course of the day. Isn't it wonderful? I'm so glad for the numerous testimonies, as we call them, of people who just said this phrase and wonderful things open in their lives. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? So grateful and thankful for you being on tonight. And before we go any further, I got to check in on you real quickly. Just tell me what's good, family. Tell me what's good, what's going on in your life real quickly. Tell me about your week. What's good? Tell me how your week has been going thus far. And then I'm going to get into some teaching. Mine has been quite an eventful week, but I'm so thankful and grateful for it all. Tell me what's good. Tell me what's good. And tell me about your week real quickly. How have things been going for you? How have things been going for you? And now waiting on your responses. I've shared with you a little bit about how my week has been going thus far. Of course, when we stream live, this would be on a Wednesday, what some folks call hump day, the middle of the work week. And nevertheless, we are here, we are alive, and we are present. Real quickly, tell me how your week has been going thus far. I just want to check in on y'all to see how things are going with you, and you. All right. Let's see what Krista says. The week has been great. Wonderful. Wonderful. Anybody else want to share how your week has been going thus far? Talk to me. It's by your interpretation, and therefore there is no judgment as to how you interpret about how your week has been going thus far. Let's see. He says, my week has been amazing. I resonate therapist, huge breakthroughs with my professional and personal life. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else want to share how your week has been going? Tell me about your week. We've got a couple of people who've already shared. Anybody else willing to share? Don't be shy. We're vibing with the tribe. You're in a safe place in our community. All right. Thank you so much for sharing with us how your week has been going thus far. And I just want to remind you real quickly, for those who still haven't, that you can connect with our Patreon community. And of course, we have some wonderful things to share with you. 50% off the first month on Patreon for the upper tiers, where we share powerful dynamic teaching with you. Experience high-level teaching, discover ancient wisdom. You're connecting with a community of like-minded people. You're going to receive weekly inspiration, free resources, and use the discount code REV50, and it will give you 50% off the first month. You don't want to miss it. Most, or I should say the bulk of the content that we place there is for people who are investing in the community, and we've got more and more great things coming for you. And I thank those who check it weekly. Some of you all check it daily. You read the posts, blogs, you watch the videos, so forth and so on. And I thank you for your love, support, and patience as we continue to expand and grow our community base. That's aggreen.com/. theaggreen.com. I'm sorry, you can go and visit there. But there's patreon.com/aggreen now. Let's see. Hillary's chiming in about how our week has been going. She says, rather interesting, several hiccups. Okay. Stood in her power. Isn't it wonderful? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And as I share with people and have shared for the last few weeks, whenever you share your testimonies, family, it's not only an encouragement for me, and it is encouragement that I desire, but it's an encouragement for the community, or it's an encouragement for people who stop by. Because when you start teaching certain things, people feel like it's that, wooey, pie in the sky type stuff, and it's not. It's not only in terms of spiritual principles that are certifiable and quantifiable, but there are also some natural principles that we teach here from science confirmation or scientific confirmation. And so to see people utilizing these principles, these spiritual principles, and actually seeing wonderful results, I tell you what, it does my heart glad and makes me feel so good when you apply these principles and see wonderful results in your lives. All right. Thank you so much for sharing how your week has been going thus far. All right. Our resident therapist will put up what installment this is. This may be the last one. We've been talking about conscious creation now for a few weeks. And I am at, I guess we could call it action number 4. That's where I'm at now, number 4, the physical bridge. And I guess I can do a brief recap of the 4 pillars of creation. We've been talking about conscious creation, and I've been talking about the 4 pillars of conscious creation. We started with the blueprint. And basically, every creation begins with thought. The architect does not build without a plan. The mind does not manifest without image and intention. So we talked about number 1, thought being the blueprint. We talked about things like clarity of intention, imaginal scenes, repetition at the subconscious level. We even shared scientific support from neuroscience and cognitive science to show how mental imagery activates certain regions of the brain. We also have shown how predictive processing theory suggests that the brain is constantly projecting expectations. So in other words, thought is a blueprint because it is where reality is. It is where reality is initiated. This is part 5 in Conscious Creator. Real quickly, I want my assistants to put up, let's see, I want you to put up real quickly, Hebrews 11:1. We talked about that. I'm just going on a few scriptures. Mark 11:24, Proverbs 23:7. We'll stop there. Proverbs 23:7, Mark 11:24, Hebrews 11:1. Okay, and I started with Hebrews 11:1. Then we'll do Proverbs 23:7 and Mark 11:24. Just giving you some text. I've quoted from the Hindu scriptures as well. I've quoted from Buddhist texts. I've even quoted from Islamic tradition. I've quoted from Hermetic texts. I've quoted from Taoist texts, Tao Te Ching texts. They're all in alignment and symmetry as it relates to the mind or thinking manifesting reality, thinking creating reality. And the reason why I quote from these texts is because I want you to see that there's a touch of inspiration there. And there is a thing that is in alignment, because when principles are spiritual, they're not owned by religion. I'm going to say it again. Spiritual principles are not owned by religion. Religion has tapped into some of the principles and made it a part of its structure, a part of its corporation, and a part of its corporate means, its corporate body, but they don't own it. These are spiritual principles that is owned by the spirit itself, the spiritual dimension itself, spiritual beings. And when we discover these principles and exercise and utilize them, we see enormous results. Now, faith is the confidence in what we hope for about and assurance about what we do not see. That text is basically the NIV, talking about faith being confidence of expectation of something good, which is hope. And with that confidence, of course, there's assurance. There's assurance of the unseen, assurance of the invisible, assurance that the invisible is real. All right. King James Version should come up here in a minute. Mark 11:24. Therefore, tell you, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. The first text talks to us about faith. And remember, a key component of faith is conviction. Conviction. Real faith has conviction. Real faith has conviction. If you're saying you have faith and you don't have conviction, meaning you are convinced, then it's not real faith. The assurance part of the NIV interpretation comes from the conviction. You can't have assurance without conviction. When people have assurance, they have conviction. I'm going to say it again. When people have assurance, they have a conviction. So if they have an assurance of peace, family, that means they are convinced in their heart that everything is good. Everything is all right. And that conviction could be based on God, their conceptual framework of God, their conceptual framework of a deity, the divine, the word, scripture, whatever it is. They have a conviction or an inner convincing about that. And it provides them with assurance. King James, now faith is the substance. Again, assurance of things hoped for, the evidence or the proof of things not seen. And again, when people have faith, they're not looking for evidence. I'm going to say it again. Faith does not look for evidence. Type in the comment section. Faith is not looking outside for evidence. Type that in the comment section. Faith is not looking outside for evidence. I've made the mistake many times. Others have made the mistake many times of utilizing faith. Again, it's not religious, that's spiritual. All spiritual beings create and manifest by faith. All spiritual beings also create their reality, create the world they live in, beginning with what? Thoughts, which are the blueprint. Faith, our faith, or the things we believe, are contained in our heart and our mind, and we identify with these things through words and through images. So it's not looking outside for evidence. It is the assurance of things so far. It is the evidence, meaning faith said, I have the evidence. I am living in the end, as Neville God said, the wish fulfilled. As we look at the King James Version, Yeshua is speaking here. Therefore, I say unto you, what things soever you desire when you pray, believe that ye receive them and ye shall have them. That's conscious creating, family. That is conscious creating. You believe that you received it, and therefore you have it. I'm going to say it again. You believe that you receive it, and therefore you have it. I want you to let that resonate. And I know we're taught that seeing is believing, or I got to see this to believe it. I'm not going to see it until I can lay my eyes on it. If I can't lay my eyes on it, then it's not true. This is what you are taught to believe. You're taught to allow your senses to interpret what reality is for you. But you and I are in control of those senses, and you and I are in control of our thoughts. And therefore, when we decide to look from within and to live from within, not based on the interpretation of the five senses, what the brain interprets as a physical basis of empirical data that we rely on to tell us what is or isn't true. You as a spirit being, as a conscious creator, does it by faith first. Did you catch what I just said? Proverbs 23:7a, as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. As he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Again, thinketh. Thinking is more about estimation in the Hebrew, and a couple of other words to go along with that in terms of definition. But when we're thinking again covers the realm of cognitive or cognition. It's not just words, it's images. It's not just images, it's also feeling. All right. Feeling has a direct impact on motivation, and feeling has a direct impact on what the subconscious mind will accept as true or false, or will accept as its marching orders in helping to co-create reality. So whatever you're thinking, that's what you are. And when I say think, remember, I teach you, you're an observer of your thoughts until you choose them. When you choose those thoughts, you become a participant, a partner with those thoughts. In other words, I could say it like this: you accept those thoughts, you absorb those thoughts, you become those thoughts, you will manifest those thoughts. Hear what I'm saying today. You're watching me because of your thoughts. You're going to react to what I say because of your what's in your thoughts. Or we say, well, this is how I feel, but what you feel usually can be explained by thoughts. It will be explained with a thought. It will be defined by thoughts. If you're feeling a certain way, it's because you're thinking a certain way. And of course, if you're thinking a certain way, it's going to trigger a feeling. Reality creation begins with our thoughts. And of course, imaginative scenes, what we imagine, what we envision, what we see, and of course, what we feel. Because feeling acts as internal proof, it acts as a source of internal confirmation, which deepens the conviction of what we're thinking and imagining in both a negative or a positive sense. I hope I'm making sense thus far. So I want you to understand the power of thinking as the blueprint. And I'm giving you a brief overview before I get to the last one on today. Did we get all the text up? Let me see, Matthew 9:29. Then touched he their eyes, saying, according to your faith, be it unto you. Again, these blind men mentioned in the text participated in their own miracle. He said it's according to your faith. It's according to what your conviction is. It's according to what you've already been convinced of. And they were convinced that getting to Yeshua, that Yeshua would manifest a miracle. And Yeshua said, back at you, back at you. I'm just agreeing with your faith. And this is what I want you to understand from a metaphysical sense. The creator and the source agrees with our faith. And again, when we hear this mentioned in religious circles, we think faith is just for positive things. No, I want you to understand that as a spiritual divine species, the creator, the source, and this conscious universe is merely a partner. And I want you to understand that if you believe, whatever it is you believe, then there's going to be a co-participant in bringing that into being in your life. This is why I'm a big proponent of people monitoring their thoughts through metacognition, paying attention to their thoughts, feelings, and emotions, paying attention to their personal philosophies, paying attention to what makes you happy, what makes you sad, what makes you mad, paying attention to all those things, because ultimately you're the reason why things show up in your world to consistently confirm your state of consciousness, your state of mind, and it's based on some kind of conviction you have. Hear what I'm saying today. Let's see here. So I want you to understand that faith is not looking outside for evidence. Let's look at the NIV real quickly. We saw it in the King James. For he is the kind of person who's always thinking about the cost. Eat and drink, he says to you, but his heart is not with you. All right. So the first pillar we discussed real quickly was thought as the blueprint. The second one was feeling as the fuel. All right. And let me go back to number one right quick. You can go back and watch these previous videos. But remember, a key to number one is clarity of intention. All right. Using imaginative scenes, intentionally using imaginative scenes. And then, of course, repeating things so much that it's impressed upon your subconscious. I did mention that before. I just wanted to make sure that I mentioned how relevant and important that is. All right. People used to make fun of daydreaming, but there are a lot of inventions, family, that come out of daydreaming. You know why? Because that's where reality begins. Reality begins in the heart and in the mind, even from what we call daydreams. There are a lot of people who have daydreamed that they were entrepreneurs, daydreamed that they were a husband or wife, daydreamed that they reached the highest levels in their career, or some people daydreamed about death or daydreamed about something bad happening. And it's not a coincidence that their daydreams manifested. Because again, where do daydreams originate from? Thought, thinking. which is the blueprint. And those daydreams are usually attached to a nexus of emotions that either that confirms the positive or the negative that the person has been daydreaming. So do not play daydreaming, or do not view daydreaming as something that is not real. Daydreaming is a reality unto itself. And if people continue to take the necessary steps that are in alignment with the thing that they daydreamed about, whether it's good or bad, up or down, positive or negative, they will see it materialize in the physical world. The part two, number two, was feeling the few. And I said to you, if thought is the design, feeling is the electricity that animates it. Without emotional charge, thought remains blueprint, lifeless, and unrealized. So it is thought that gives energy to, excuse me, it is feeling that gives energy to the thoughts. I'm sorry. And don't get me wrong, all thoughts can be measured energetically through instrumentation. But what I want you to understand is that a thought by itself is a thought by itself. It's kind of like it's in a vacuum. But when you add feeling to it, you're fueling the thought. You're fueling the vision. All right. The thing that makes imagination so powerful, the thing that makes envisioning so powerful, you don't see it in a vacuum. You don't see it in a bland, sterile environment that only has an image. No, it has an emotion attached to it. Let me ask you all a question. Let me ask you all a question. Let me ask you all a question. What would a movie be like? What would a movie be like without music, a soundtrack? When I say a soundtrack, I mean music in the background. What would a movie be like without music in the background? Talk back to me real quickly. What would a movie be like without music in the background? Real quickly, somebody give me your opinion. I'm not looking for a certain kind of answer because I already have an answer I'm going to share. I just want to curious to see what you're going to say. What would watching a movie be like if you didn't hear music in these scenes, accompanying these scenes, or within these scenes in the background? What would it be like? Okay. And while you are formulating your answers, the music is inserted because it stimulates an emotion in the viewers. Less intense for me, maybe less dramatic. Absolutely. He says, force you to focus more. That's true. Somebody says, hard to keep my attention. That's very true. And this is a wonderful answer as well. Less engaging. So, for example, we grown folk here. Okay. When a love scene comes on, what makes you connect with the love scene is not just what you see, it's the music that is a stimulus. That's right. That stimulates emotions, that helps put you in the moment internally. You connect. If there's a fight scene, the music is hyped up and energizes us to connect with what's happening in the fight scene. There's certain types of music that's associated with action in a movie. All right. So it moves us internally. It helps us to connect with the I guess I could say the tapestry of the movie itself. So they're trying to convey an emotion in the scene, and the music helps you to connect with the emotion that they want to be conveyed or that they want us to feel as people who are viewing it. All right. So yes, music makes a difference. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm going to be done. Listen to what I'm saying today. You don't want no love scene with Mahalia Jackson or gospel playing in the background. What kind of love scene? What? That motivates you to do something else, not the thing that you're trying to do. So I want you to understand that thoughts, family, without feeling, it's like watching a movie without music. I'm gonna say it again. Thoughts without feeling or emotion, it's like watching a movie without music. Okay. The old films, if you want to know what that's like, there's some old black and white films out there. And even then, they had some music in the background, but there's some super old ones where there is no music. Let me tell you, it's a different kind of experience. I've briefly watched some of those films years ago just to see what they were like. It's not like our movies today. Okay, so it gets you in the mood, and y'all know y'all listen to music to get you in the mood. So hear me. Thoughts require feeling and emotion as an impetus for motivation. Okay, it requires feeling and emotion as an impetus for motivation. All right, and then we just kind of shared a few things with you as it relates to uh, number two, how to rev up the fuel, how to amp up the emotions. We talked about gratitude. We talked about emotional transfer, meaning merge gratitude with your imaginal scene, embody what it would feel like if it was already done. And again, if if our resident therapist has a house, a wonderful, beautiful house. Yeah, I said has one. I'm not saying trying to manifest one, has one, because he mentioned that recently about a house. Well, in his scenes, he should be have some kind of scene where he's rejoicing, even if he's sending me a text message and said, "I'm in the house," or if he's seeing himself in the house, there ought to be some joy, emotion of joy that's connected to that. Why? Because it has been proven, family, that the subconscious is impressed by emotion, not just thoughts and feelings alone. And last but not least, that deepens our conviction as a being when we feel something. You can feel yourself doing something before you do it and find yourself in the physical event. So let me say it a different way. You can feel yourself in the spiritual and mental. You can imagine yourself and feel that moment in that imaginal scene. You can feel it so until the physical event will manifest. The physical event will show up. Am I making any sense to anybody? If you want a candy bar, yes, you can think I want a candy bar and it manifests. But if you, many times when we're thinking we want a candy bar, we can taste it. Or when we're thinking we want a candy bar, we feel the joy of what we believe that candy bar is going to taste like. Wow. I want y'all to hear what I'm saying today. So eh, understand that it is emotion many times that activates within us a sense of a confirmation that something is done. All right. And I quoted from Dr. Joe Dispenza, a famous scientist. He says, "You have to teach your body emotionally what your future feels like. You have to teach your body emotionally what your future feels like." Even now, you're programming your body about the future, or you're programming your body concerning the future. Neuroscientist Antonio Damasio's somatic marker hypothesis explains how bodily feeling states bias choices and shape destiny. In other words, what we feel can create a bias to make certain choices, or a proclivity or a tendency to make certain choices, and it also shapes destiny. So that's why I tell people, if you just experienced a tragedy, it's not good to make a major life decision. If you're extremely depressed or even extremely happy, it's not necessarily good to make that decision in the moment. Come down a little bit, come up if you're down. If you're high, come down just a little bit. Don't leave that high of happiness. Come down just a little bit, because it's going to shape your bias in the moment, which ultimately is going to shape your destiny. Am I making any sense to anybody thus far? Okay. So I want you to understand that was number two, the feeling the fuel. Number three is assumption, the inner reality, which we get more into the faith aspects, although this is all contributing to faith. But when we get into assumption, we're talking about inner reality. I want you to type it in the comment section. Assumption is responsible for creating inner reality. Type that in the comment section. Assumption is responsible for creating inner reality. Type that in the comment section. Assumption is responsible for creating inner reality. Type that in the comment section. Assumption is responsible, thank you, for creating inner reality. Assumption is the inner conviction. Remember, we talked about faith, that Greek word pistis, a credence or conviction of religious truth concerning God. All faith has conviction. So assumption is the inner conviction, or I can paraphrase it and say, assumption is the inner faith that your desire is already fact. It is not stubborn denial, but steadfast orientation, returning again and again to the chosen state. My goodness. Assumption is an inner conviction or is inner faith. Assumption is the act of dwelling inwardly in the reality of your fulfilled desire. It is not the denial of circumstances, but persistence of higher truth. I want you to type it in the comment section, higher truth. Type that in the comment section, higher truth. Type that in the comment section, higher truth. What am I referring to with higher truth? Spiritual laws, spiritual laws, spiritual laws. Faith is a spiritual law. Faith is a higher truth. Okay? It's a higher truth. And again, as the statement was made before, faith has the faith or assumption is that conviction that what I believe is already fact. But I want you to understand higher truth. So here's an example. And remember, I shared with you my God brother's testimony on Sunday, who needed a kidney transplant. He had been sick for like 1 or 2 years and almost died really a couple of times. And how and all this happened from a disease he had that basically destroyed his kidney. He wasn't a drinker or anything like that. It was just a disease in his body that destroyed his kidney. And he was dealing with an atheist who didn't believe in any kind of source or creator. And, you remember that on Sunday and how he told the doctor what was going to happen during his surgery. Remember me sharing that with you, and then how it happened during the surgery. And then after the surgery, how the doctor became a believer, because when they came back to check him a couple of days later, his wound was completely healed. Where they had done the incision, it was completely gone, because normally you need weeks to heal from that. And that's why they check, the progress, want to make sure it doesn't get infected, so forth and so on. He was absolutely, positively, completely healed. And so he rested in a higher truth. I feel that, family. The facts of the doctors were related to case studies and medical knowledge and I could say the archives of medical history that says when you have this surgery, for example, you're not supposed to be peeing right after the surgery. You're not going to pee real pee. All right. That's number one. He told the surgeon before he went in, as soon as you hook that kidney up to me, he said, I'm going to pee on everybody in the room. Well, the doctor kind of scoffed at him and said, I told you, oh, you one of them believers. He said, yeah, I'm one of them. You know why? That's not supposed to happen when they hook a kidney up. The doctor later told him, and the people in the medical profession who were serving him said, really, that's like mush in your kidneys. It's going to be dark brown stuff. And it takes a while for the kidney to get up, start working and functioning. Well, guess what happened? Like I shared with you, on the operating table, they later told him after he woke up, the nurse told him, soon as we hooked that kidney up to you, you peed on everybody in the room. Now, what happened here? What happened there is that he's operating in faith. Faith is above the physical. Faith is above the natural. Hear what I'm saying? Faith is above medical knowledge. Faith is above the medical archives. Faith is above empirical data. Watch this. Faith is above atoms and molecules. Faith is above the material world. It is something that comes from us as a spirit being, a divine being. When we exercise this faith, this belief, it controls the physical dimension, the three-dimensional world, and other things. So a higher truth, accessing a higher truth, family, will change the facts. This is why conditions don't matter. Circumstances don't matter. Come on, I want you to type it in the comment section. Circumstances don't matter. Hallelujah. Come on, type that in the comment section. Circumstances don't matter. Linda has joined us on Patreon. Good to see you, Linda. Circumstances don't matter. They don't matter. When you decide to use faith, you are accessing a higher truth. Hear what I'm saying today. Now, people like to separate fact from truth. I don't want to get in the weeds in that. I don't want to get, muddy and bloody and trying to make you think there's a difference between facts and truth. But what I want to say is that doctor had a set of facts that he thought was truth in terms of his experience as a surgeon, a specialist who's done numerous surgeries like this, and he knows how the body typically reacts. He knows how the body typically responds. Hear what I'm saying today? So as far as he knew, that was the truth. What they call facts, to him, it was a medical truth that the average response is going to be this post a kidney surgery. Well, guess what? My God brother decided that I don't have to participate in a natural truth. I'm going above that. Metaphysical is above the physical. I'm going above the physical. I'm going above the spirit. I am appealing to, in his faith framework, I am appealing to an almighty God that's going to work with me and work on my behalf to do things differently. In other words, it's going to be a miracle because it's going to suspend the natural course of events. It's going to suspend natural laws. It's going to supersede natural laws. What time is it? What time is it? I feel like running. My brother Andrew is on Patreon. We got people on Patreon and YouTube. Thank y'all for stopping by tonight. And I got to remind you that circumstances don't matter. Did y'all catch that? I'm going to say it again. Circumstances don't matter. If you are set in the truth, if your conviction is deep enough, oh my goodness, I'm saying it now. If your conviction is deep enough, you can have anything. I'm going to say it again. If your conviction is deep enough, then the miracle is going to take place. The events are going to align with your faith. The cooperative components in the universe are going to align with your faith. Hear what I'm saying today. The authority you possess, the oneness you have with God, supersedes all of this stuff. And like in his case, totally rearranged reality based on his faith. Did you catch what I just said? I'm going to say it again. Totally rearranged reality based on his faith. This is why we appreciate doctors. We take their advice, but there are some situations where they don't know about higher truths and higher laws. And that's when, like in his case, you have to go with the higher law that you know. I'm going to say it again. You have to go with the higher law that you know. Check what I'm saying today. Hear what I'm saying today. Right now, if you're in a situation where you require finances right now, hear me. This is for somebody. You require money right now. Well, the linear, natural, pragmatic way is they say down here, you got to have a job to make money. But listen, if you need money tomorrow and your checking account is depleted, catch what I'm saying today, and you're getting a paycheck and it's not enough. Some of y'all working 2 and 3 jobs and it's not enough, and you got something that needs to be done in the next couple of days, family. I want you to hear what I'm saying today. That practical linear system that linear natural system where you trade time for money is not going to be the solution. And when I say the solution, listen, faith and God activating things can use the linear solution. But I'm telling you now, many people think because it make this much an hour and because this is what I get, that I'm not going to have enough. I want to let that sink in. I want to let that sink in. But as soon as you stand with a conviction in your power of faith that all things work together for the good, that your needs are already supplied. Listen, the God that supplies your needs according to his riches and glory is the God that lives in you. It's the God that's a part of you. It's the God that's one with you. And it's not coming from no place else distant. It's in you. Hear what I'm saying today. And when you decide it's done, when your conviction is deep enough that it's supplied, as I said to you before, the details are not your business. Now, that same linear job could call you up and say, you know what, we just made a bonus for you. That could happen. But many times people are looking for linear resources. And if the linear way is not there, they say, there's no hope. They say, there's no way it could get done. Hear what I'm saying today. When you could be sitting up and get a Cash App and never work for it. You could get a Zelle transfer and never work for it. You could get a check, an unexpected check in the mail that you did not work for. Catch what I'm saying today. You could get a refund in an area where you overpaid or something happened, and now they're compensating you for that you never sweated for, that you never clocked in to manifest. This is when we appeal, family, to the higher truth and to the higher law. And when we appeal to that higher truth through faith, faith accesses the higher dimension, it accesses the higher plane, it accesses the higher law. Oh my goodness, my goodness. Circumstances don't matter. Stop thinking you got to sweat for stuff just to earn it. Look at this. Look at here. I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to finish number 4 because in my recap, this is what happened when recaps happen. This is why I try and act better. This is what happened when recaps happen. I done got caught up in it. I didn't even get to number 4 yet. Inner reality. I want you to type this in the comment section. Identity shaping. I did cover this, and I'm going to finish with this. Identity shaping. I'm going to finish with this today so I can try and be done on time and not go over. We're on number 3, assumption, the inner reality. I guess maybe I just needed to discuss this. I guess. I just needed to cover this. Yeah, we deep in it. Now. Here's another key component to faith, to assumption, family. And we're all in the process of what we call becoming, but we must become. See, identity shaping, moving from wanting to being. Move from wanting to being. I want you to type that in the comment section. I must move from wanting to being. Instead of I want financial freedom, declare I am financially free. I want you to type in the comment section. I must move from wanting to being. I must move from wanting to being. Thank you, Brenda, for joining us on Patreon tonight. We got some folk in Patreon as we have some folk on YouTube. I appreciate y'all. I must move from wanting to being. Type that in the comment section. I must move from wanting to being. Now, this is what identity shaping is about. Now, family, I'm going to say this. Let me spend a few minutes on this. As we talk about money, and I have studied some of the lives of multi-millionaires who have lost all their fortune, lost all their wealth, and regained it. Let me tell you why they were able to regain it. Now, they would say to you, when they lost it after the first time or the second time, the mindset they had was, I had it before, and just the way I learned how to accumulate it or develop it or gather it or have it before. In other words, I know how to make millions, or I know how to become a millionaire. And when they lost the fortune the first time, they said that's what they told themselves. I know how to do it. So I'm going to do it again. And they did it again. And then some of them lost it all again. And they said, I know how to do it because I've done it twice and I'm going to do it again. Let me tell you why that person keeps succeeding. That person keeps succeeding because I am a millionaire is their being, is their state of being, is their state of consciousness. In other words, I am a millionaire, meaning they are literally in mind and heart a millionaire. They embody it in their thought processes, in their strategic thinking. Watch this, in their abundance, frequency, and energy. Hear what I'm saying today. In a business acumen, a business mindset, a courage, a motivation, and a power is associated with them. This is what they do because it's who they are. This is why they can continue to lose money and get it back, lose money and get it back, lose millions and make more, because that's who they are. And as somebody said, the universe doesn't give you what you want. It gives you who you are. It gives you based on who you are or what you are. It responds to who or what you are. I want you to understand this real clearly. Become like Yeshua in the Message translation. I think that was Matthew 9:29 in the Message translation. He told those same blind men in the Message translation, become what you believe. The key, family, the key for our resident therapist in manifesting the house is the resident therapist is a house owner. He is a house owner. I am a house owner. Hear me. And the specifics of the house is up to him to decide, because that's what he sees in his imaginal creation, his imaginal scenes, his faith, his painting, or is painting, or it is connecting with material forces to say, bring it into being based on his specifications, because this is who he is. The body again begins to act like this is who he is. The brain, therefore, starts projecting and transmitting. This stuff is scientifically proven. This is who he is. So therefore, we must manifest this. We must make this happen. Mm, mm, mm. I need you to hear me. I need everybody on here. Everybody on here. See, if you're around me enough, catch what I'm saying. If you're around me enough, you'll never hear me say I'm broke. It don't make a difference what I see in my checking account. And you're not going to hear me say or practice saying what I don't have. I don't like to say it because I realize I'm creating more of I don't have if I say I don't have. And from time to time, I have to, communicate in that language, come out of that so people can see the state that I am maneuvering around, or that I am manifesting out of existence, so that you can see where I am with this. But for the most part, I'm not saying it. It's not in my vocabulary anymore. I need you to hear me, because I understand as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. I recognize that my thinking broke, my thinking scarcity, my thinking calamity, my thinking lack produces more of it. My thinking, like a mouse who's quivering and shaking, looking out the corner of his eyes, even like a rabbit. People are living a rabbit existence. Like that rabbit in the yard is using both eyes to rotate sometime in different directions, or both eyes on you, eating with his eyes wide open. Can't even enjoy its meal because it's thinking something gonna sneak up on it and pounce on it and kill it. And this is how some folks are living. They're living with a mindset that I am just one blunder away from homelessness. I'm one blunder away from dying. I'm one blunder away from non-existing. I'm one blunder away from hell. And this is why we find ourselves manifesting more complicated situations, because your faith believes it. But I came by here to tell you that you've got to own the identity of abundance, no matter what you see, no matter what's in your checking account, no matter how folks are talking about around you. Child, it's just hard to come by money. Child, we the kind that's just meant to struggle the rest of our lives. Child, you need 3 or 4 jobs just to make it in this society. Listen, if that's what you believe, then that's what you're going to see more of. Assume, my goodness. Let the weak say I'm what? Somebody finish that text. Let the weak say I'm what? Come on, finish that. What is that? Let the weak say I'm what? Who knows that text? Finish the text for me. Finish the text for me. There you go. Strong. The weak are not around here shouldn't be around here talking about I'm weak, because it produced more weakness. Even the biblical text says you ought to be saying you're strong. Well, why are you around here talking about how weak you are? You're supposed to be speaking what you believe, and you speak what you believe based on the identity that you are living. Hear what I'm saying today. I am strong in the Lord that I am one with, and in the power of his or its might. I am strong. I want you to type it in the comment section. I am strong, but you don't understand what I'm dealing with. See, I don't care about your circumstances. They don't matter to the divine. They don't matter to the creator. They don't matter to the dynamic, powerful, divine, spiritual being that you are, who's endless and infinite, unless you believe it matters. It really don't matter. Unless you believe it matters. But on this program, we will continue to propagate. We will continue to disseminate that circumstances don't matter. Come on, type it in the comment section. I am strong. Type that in the comment section. I am strong. Come on, family. Type that in the comment section. I am strong. I feel this moving in me. Type it in the comment section. I am strong. There you go, mystical. Type it in the comment section. I am strong. I am strong. Don't let folks walk up to you and cause you to switch your identity and start talking like you weak when your identity is one of strength. Come on now. I am strong. Well, I don't have resources. I don't know this. I'm barely getting by. I can't get this and I can't get that. And folks are coming against me and they're about to do this, that, or the other to me. I am strong. Just decide. I am the identity of the strong. Yes, it don't mean you don't cry because you're strong, but you're strong in power. Hear me. You're strong in supernatural divine support. You're strong again in inner power. You're strong in inner ability. Hear what I'm saying to say today. You're strong in your partnership with the Creator. I am strong. Isn't it better to tell yourself that you're strong than to tell yourself that you're weak and you're pitiful and you can't have this and you're last and stuff never works? Isn't it better to just say I'm strong? Have you noticed that when we get down and start talking negative stuff, we feel worse and worse and worse? That's because, again, there's a polarity of energy that's connected to everything we speak. But start declaring, I am strong. Oh my God, I feel this. I feel it today. I feel it today. I sense it today. And as you continue to speak to that situation, speak to yourself, situations within you and then outside of you are going to change. Last but not least, you define in your own words. I'm going to start with the first 2 words because now I want you to share a little bit about your being, a little bit about who you are. right now. Like some have already declared, I am abundance. I'm going to say, I am, and I want you to finish it in the comment section. You've typed, I am strong, but there's some other things more specific to you, your identity, family, that you want to speak, that you declare that you are, that you believe that you are. I want you to type it in the comment section. 1, 2, 3, I am, and type in the comment section. I am what I am. That's referring to you. Type that real quickly in the comment section. Type it real quickly in the comment section. Come on, type it real quickly in the comment section. Here we go, here we go, here we go. I want to see your identity now. I want to see your identity now. I want to see your identity now. I want to see what you're working with. I want to see who you're showing up as. Andrew on Patreon says, I am a philanthropist. He says, I am a philanthropist on Patreon. Who else? Who else? Talk to me. Talk to me. Hillary says, I am financially free. I am financially free. Our resident therapist says, I am abundance. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Anybody else want to share I am and place it in the comment section? And it's all right if you don't have anything that you can think of. We can work on helping you develop an identity. Let's see. I am hope for generations. Thank you. I am hope for generations. There it is. That's powerful. I am a powerful influencer. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you all for sharing it. So you're embodying that identity. My goodness. You're embodying that identity. I am abundance. And abundance is not just connected to money. It could be an abundance of love. It could be an abundance of peace. It could be abundance of joy. And of course, it could be an abundance in financially. Brenda on Patreon says, she says, I am loving, abundantly secured, divinely kept. That's what Brenda says on Patreon. Thank you all for sharing with us, family, on Patreon. Now we own it. We own it, family. We own it. Every day you're cultivating what I am. For example, if you wanted to be a boxer, I am a champion means that that champion is going to be inspired to incorporate things in his daily routine and daily life that confirms that he is a champion, which part of it is eating, part of it is training, part of it is maybe cultivating his mind to be able to deal with the press and other things like that. Part of it is constructing a solid team and working with that team every day. Part of it is getting up at a certain time, going to bed at a certain time, because I am a championship boxer. So as you say, I am these things you've declared you are today, then allow the intuition and the inner leading of your spirit self to guide you on the next steps that continue to confirm that I am. Oh, I felt that one so strongly tonight. All right, I got to shut it down. I'm a few minutes over time. Y'all, real quickly, give me some feedback. Tell me how you're feeling. Tell me what you thought about tonight's teaching. And while you're preparing to do that, the donation opportunities are at the bottom of the screen. You can use Cash App or Zelle. And I thank you so much for your donations and your gifts. And the latest podcast just dropped. I believe it was yesterday. And if you haven't listened to the podcast, you can find it on the Divine You podcast, Spotify, Apple, or you can go directly within Patreon and listen to it, or you can go to the Divine You YouTube channel and watch it. I need to put up the latest video links on our Facebook page for the last two so that people can watch the video version of the podcast if they want to. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in, and continue to support our Patreon channel and continue to support our community. Thank you so much, Hillary. I appreciate you. Anybody else have some feedback tonight on tonight's lesson? And again, we thank you for your giving in advance. I know you're going to give, whether it's tonight or on another date. I'm so thankful and grateful to be a part of a wonderful spiritual community. I love to vibe with my tribe. We'll say it again. I love to vibe with my tribe. Let's see. Andrew Green says, absolutely stirring on Patreon. Thank you, sir. Absolutely stirring, he says. Anybody else? Let's see. Our resident therapist says, teaching right on point. Love you. I love you too, my brother. Let's see. Yes, yes, yes. We are declaring the best tribe there is. I am the best tribe there is. I am a part of the best tribe there is. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'm not going to play the music because it seemed to be messing up my voice at the end. All right. I'm going to release you just shortly with the Shalom blessing. Let's see. Thank you so much, Mystical. This was good. Want to create more? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I am in the process of developing more and more specific teaching on, I give you steps, but I kind of want to just do videos where I talk about steps, where we just go through the steps live. And I probably would do that within Patreon. We go through the steps live, one at a time, whether it's meditation, envisioning, crafting, whatever things we're trying to craft together to get us to the place where we're in alignment with the identity of that person, and using these processes to continue to affirm that within ourselves. All right. Thank y'all so much for sharing with me tonight. And I'm going to release you. Shalom, shalom, peace, wholeness, and prosperity. Nothing missing and nothing broken. I thank you all so much for watching another Spiritual Awakening with yours truly, Dr. A.G. Green. Enjoy your evening.